Where are you seeing that activity to write checks to applications in generative AI?
Yeah, just to be technical for a moment, a lot of that is driven by the fact that these foundation models are translating text into other text well. So what you're seeing is it's the money's flowing into places where applications can do well with text, as you can imagine. So that's really legal tech, it's healthcare, it's fintech, and largely that's because the architectures are settling in terms of how developers build applications. In 2023, folks were still trying to figure out how to build applications using generative AI. That has changed greatly in 2024 as applications move into more agentic architectures.
What's been so interesting is, for example, you're an investor in Anthropic. We announced today that Amazon is taking another $4 billion cash infusion into the business. It really wants to make it a bedrock of bedrock. It wants to really ensure that it's offering its own, well, cloud technology, but to other clients with the help of Anthropic, but also having Anthropic train its own data on its own chips. What's interesting, I'm talking to some generative AI application makers, and they're saying the support coming from cloud providers for their businesses too is extraordinary. How are you seeing these application makers also dining out from Amazon, Microsoft, and the rivalry there?
Look, it's really, really expensive to train and provide inference for these things. And seeing a $4 billion cash infusion from the likes of Amazon is not shocking at all. I think it's great for developers who sit in the Amazon ecosystem. They've already been blessed to use services within that ecosystem, and to move over to Anthropic, I think makes things really, really easy for them, and Anthropic is obviously benefiting from that.
Just from the research that you've done, are we seeing money stop going towards these foundational layers and instead finding a new home in the application makers? Or are people still writing checks in both directions? It's just very different valuations.
Yeah, it's going in both directions, though. You saw in the report, the amount of spend in foundation models went up 6.5x from $1 billion in 2023 to $6.5 billion in 2024. That's a huge increase. And then, as you mentioned earlier, we saw the amount of spend in the application layer go up about 8x to about $4.6 billion in 2024. So the dollars are flowing in both directions, frankly.
And you mentioned some of the sectors where this makes most obvious sense. And we've had a lot of these startup founders on the show that are particularly helping serve the legal industry, the healthcare industry. How much money are you starting to see these ultimate end clients purchasing? How much are we seeing product market fit? How much are we actually seeing clients spend money on these products?
Oh, I think that we call it PMF in the venture industry, a product market fit. That it's definitely there, right? I have a legal tech startup called Eve that's seeing huge benefit from plaintiff side case management, and the throughput is definitely there. So plaintiff side lawyers are getting the benefit, and they're spending the dollars, and like you asked earlier, the product market fit is certainly there right now, and people are buying up and slurping up the software left and right. So we're really excited.
But everyone keeps on questioning return on AI investment. Are these companies in healthcare, in the legal services, finding that it's productivity that gets boosted? What else is giving them the return?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're not going to be buying the software for not getting the value. So, we hear it anecdotally from folks that they're getting tons and tons of value out of the software, and the spend is just increasingly rapidly. So you can imagine that the value is certainly there.
Push us forward, because where is the next vanguard of money to be made within the AI hype cycle or AI reality, Tim? Where else are you looking to put money to work?
Yeah, I mean, it's really focused around the application layer right now. I think architectures, like I mentioned earlier, are settled. And because the architectures are settled, it makes it easier to build these applications. And so you're going to see the velocity of applications come out much more quickly. So, I think legal, definitely workflow automation, chat customer support is certainly a space, marketing, human resources. So I think really any vertical right now is ripe for a disruption for AI right now.